Hello everybody, today's tutorial is going to be over Virtual Dyno. I was really impressed with this software. I was led to it by the Alexis enthusiast community. So let me first show you where you go to get it. You can go to www.virtualdyno.net. It is free. You can download the latest version 1.2.5 by hitting download now. You can like it on Facebook. Brad, the developer, I suggest if you like this software and you end up using it, definitely donate them. It's pretty cool. It's very effective software. It's very close to the Dyno pool that I did on the DynoJet. So pretty slick. So anyway, you download it, launch the executable. The only suggestion I have is when you do the browse, do it at the root of C. So it's right there, and you're ready to rock. Let's go ahead and launch Virtual Dyno 1.2.5. I'm going to go through and show you what the actual run looked like, and then I'll show you how I created the custom car and inputs, why, and how to edit the CSV file and the meat and potatoes of getting the good results. So go to load runs, load in the CSV file that meets the requirements for Virtual Dyno, which is my car, which this is not a pre-populated car, is one that we created custom. Air temperature was 34 during the pool. Occupant was 60. That's correct. And third gear pull. And as you can see, you get your output. 291 horsepower at the wheels at a 5300 RPM pull at 309 foot-pounds of torque at 3615 RPMs. Very slick. So how did we get there? Let's get into that. So once Virtual Dyno is installed, I first tried to create an ad profile, create a custom car. That did not work for me. So I'm just going to show you what did work for me. Went to the car editor. It didn't have a populated car there, so I used something very similar to my car. So we used the Supra. And we put in our inputs. They started the first gen Lexus IS 300 in 2001, ended that model in 2005. We'll leave that the same. Curb weight is 32.5. Drag coefficient of this car is 0.34. 19.30 for your frontal area. That's on the stock front bumper. And my tire size currently is 25.31. If you need a tire diameter, you can go to Google and get a calculator. Just put in your size of tire and wheel. So like a 255, 40, 16-inch wheel would give you it in inches. This is a manual transmission. So the gearing for the manual transmission is as follows: 3.566. It's a W55 transmission. 0.056. 1.384. 1.000. Fifth gear is 0.850, and limited slip on the manual final drive is 3.73. And then we can do save as custom. Do not forget about you automatic guys. You would uncheck manual here. Gear 1. 3.36. Gear 2, 2.06. Gear 3, 1.38. Oh, I lied. Hold on. That's mine. Gear 1, 3.36. Gear 2, 2.18. 1.42 for gear 3. 1.00 for gear 4, 0.75 for gear 5, your final drive, 3.91. There may be a small variation if you have limited slip differential. You have to do some research, but that's your standard. So then we'll go to Save as Custom. You'll see the user file, app data, roaming, Virtual Dyno, custom cars. That's fine. It saves as an XML file. We'll go ahead and say save. We'll overwrite that one. Okay. And we're done. Let's close out of here for now. Go into the Windows Explorer. So under C drive, our user folder, user, app data. If you do not see this, you can go to Tools, Folder Options, View, and Show Hidden Files and Folders. You'll see the app data folder there. Then roaming, Virtual Dyno, custom cars. As you can see, there's the one that we just created with the correct parameters. Here's all the pre-populated cars. I created a Lexus folder already, and we'll go ahead and overwrite that one. If you did it correctly, this won't look like gibberish, it'll look like this, and we're good to go. Okay, so we'll close out a Virtual Dyno for now, but that's how you create the custom car folder. So when you load in your CSV file, you can see from the drop down that the Lexus model's there now. Okay, so I use Megasquirt, so the Tuner Studio Megasquirt software is what I use. Also Megalog Viewer is what I use. AEM, all your others, Gritty, eManage, they probably can export a CSV file with no problem. Unfortunately, with Megalog Viewer, if I export a CSV file, it puts everything in one column, so that doesn't help me out at all. But I'm just going to walk you through what I have to do for mine and the editation of that, and you can adapt that to whatever your needs are. So here's my same run from the log file, and I have to save it. We'll call it test3. And I actually have to save this as a XLS file first for me. Now before I open this up in Excel, I wanted to let you know if you don't have Office 2010 or student version or 2007, 3, etc., you can type into Google Microsoft Office Starter Edition 2010 and you can get a dumbed down version of Excel and Word for free. This is the link that I used. It works great, especially for this. And this will allow us to edit our CSV file, or in my case, the XLS file that we'll save as a CSV file. So we'll get into that. But if you don't have Office Excel, you're okay. You can still get it. Okay, so let's open up my XLS file. Try again. Yes, that's fine. As you can see here, I've got a lot of inputs, and your CSV file is probably going to look like that too, that are not needed for the software. If you try to import it as is right now, you're probably going to get a screenshot that looks something like this. Error 101, blah blah blah, required columns, time, RPM, and throttle position. So time, RPM, and TPS is the only thing it really wants. We're going to save a couple other columns, but not all of them. So right now this row, I'm going to delete that, highlight this row, delete that. Time we want to keep, I don't want to keep this. RPM, map, boost, TPS, I don't want to keep this. Don't need to keep map. And from here over to the right, not needed. I'm actually going to cut this row here and move it to the end. I'll cut this one here and put it here. Put these two back. So now you have your time, RPM, and throttle position sensor. time, RPM, throttle position. I'm going to keep boost, air-fuel ratio, and my map. The next thing I want to do is I want to select all these and change this decimal from where it's at to 2 decimal places out. So right click, format cells, number, 2 decimals, okay. And there we have it. It's a lot cleaner. Let's scroll to the bottom here, take out this. Now I've got a clean CSV file to work with. Save as. And we'll select comma delimited file for me. You probably already have a CSV file. That's okay. And that's okay. Alright. So now we're back to where we can launch Virtual Dyno. I can go to File, Load Runs. I can pull my CSV file that I want to use. I can pull my custom vehicle. Change the weight of the driver. 34 degrees. Third gear pull. And there you have your output. Very cool. My only complaint about this software is the clipboard and the resolution of the software is very low. So if you take a screenshot of it or a print screen of it or anything of that nature, this is it's about as good as it gets. So if you send it to somebody, they may have a hard time seeing it. But that's really just a small complaint. Maybe it can be improved in the future. Your third gear and fourth gear pull, Brad mentions that it's good to do a third to fourth gear pull and wide open throttle, either one of those. So if you're on a highway or freeway, like on an on-ramp that's 70 miles or 75 miles an hour, you can get into first, second real quick and then do a long wide open throttle pull in third gear. Obviously obey your laws, but get it up to red line before you have to shift, and that will give you the best output. Really, I shifted way too early. I could have shifted at 7,000 RPM or 6,800 and would have got a little better reading, but that's okay. So make sure you put in your air temperature. You don't need to change barometer. Your car weight. If you go to a dump or a local co-op or anywhere with a scale, you can get an efficient reading of your weight with the driver in it. I would suggest a full tank of gas. And you can obviously weigh yourself and subtract it, or if you're in the car, you'll know. Just weigh yourself so you can know which car weighs with you or in or out of it. Your tire height, like I said, you can find a calculator to help you do that, and your final drive ratios. But very cool software. Very impressed. It looked very, very close to my dyno chart. I was only running about 8 to maybe 10 psi, and no more than that. So very cool. If you guys have suggestions or something is not clear, please let me know. I apologize for the sound on this video. My Turtle Beach headset's really for gaming and not tutorials. So thanks for watching.